gosh, that's it. Hello! We have face camera! Hello! Hey!
Oh, it's so weird. I look at the screen and I see I look at the screen and I see Marshall's eyes. Like,
I've got just on the top half of my screen, Marshall on the bottom, and then me just tiny little thing up in the corner.
I have got you on one side as my screen. I'm like vertical, Marshall horizontal on the other, and then I'm up in the corner. And Shona is apparently a circle labeled SW.
Yeah, well, my camera's not on
with your face.
computer and I'm trying to save it, so I'll be there soon.
Okay.
I'm on a phone, so that's probably why it's storage is such a problem.
So, Ben, have you got a personality ready?
I have, and it is amazing.
So, Marshall.
Oh, hello.
Hello, I finally found it.
You found the camera.
Alright, so how do we play?
Alright,
So, people are gonna make up... Wait, do you want me to explain or do you to explain?
I guess I've run a lot more.
Yeah,
so
you've run a
lot
lot
more.
more.
This is the one where we pick 2 skills and a goal. Or you can pick 3 skills and have less will. 2 skills. Any 2. But you don't tell me because Marshall's running it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you
setting.
basically you privately message me your skills and your goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
You can tell other people it's not against the rules or anything, but they might try and stop you from the competition.
Yeah, they might use it to their advantage.
Luckily, I'm not really in it to win it. I'm in it because this character is amazing, and you will all be blessed to be graced with this character.
Yeah. Last time my character was a bit self-destructive, to say the least. First thing he did was almost break his hand on a dumpster. His goal was to injure someone. Someone includes himself, so...
Yeah, I forgot. That was the one I forgot because I was like, oh yeah, you lose control. But I'm like, oh yeah, you accidentally accomplished your goal.
Son of a bitch!
I love how this game is literally just trying to control this one character. Like, can you imagine how many mental problems this character has that we're playing?
So many. So many.
Tame. There have been games that I have run it, and we've had like 9 people playing, and that is a horrible.
Oh my god.
It's a
By
lot.
the way, what's that necklace you've got there, Shona? I don't think I've seen you with it.
Oh, my mum gave it to me for my birthday. So it's got all the stuff my grandfather gave to me when I was born and stuff like that. It's all the little charms and stuff. So, hey.
Oh, it looks nice.
Thank you. Marshall, should I send you through my goals and stuff now?
Yes, that would be helpful.
Okay. Can I just send it through the 3-way chat we've got, and Chris just isn't allowed to look?
You can send it to him on Facebook.
Yeah, but
if I read your skills, it's unlikely that I'm going to exploit it because of my goal. I'm not in it to win it. I'm in it to have a good time. Ben might try to interfere with it though.
Okay.
Ben might interfere. Hey.
I'm just going to send it through the 3-way chat because it'll take me too long how to figure out how to open a new chat.
Okay.
No, but you could do it through Facebook instead of Skype if you wanted.
Yeah, I sent mine on Messenger.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah, but me and Facebook, unless someone messages me, I don't know how to bring up chats. I'm hopeless.
Marshall, why don't you message Shona?
Okay.
She is everyone's grandmother in a very youthful.
I know.
Hey, you've got the looks to compensate.
Seriously, I used to play a game that I would full on mess with the game files to change things and everything. I can do that, but I can't work out Facebook.
I'll just wave at you, and that should start up a conversation.
Okay.
I like how waving just starts conversation.
I feel like Facebook made you could do that just so when we don't know what to say, it's like we can just push a button.
Hi.
Yeah, Skype is interesting like that. Meow. Oh, I can hear that. Very loud.
Okay, I feel like my goal is really silly.
I'm really interested to see what Ben goes with. Oh yeah, Marshall, are we playing with the variant rule of if someone else has a skill but you don't, it's a 5+ success? So you know, if I had like strength and Ben didn't, Ben would be able to succeed in my 5+ with strength. Hey, strength is not one of my skills. This is not a character who's in any way physical.
I'm really curious as to what your character is. Like, seriously.
I will allow it. You will be very interested in his character. You will also be very interested in the setting.
Oh god. Is it like evil and wicked or?
Marshall, I thought it was really weird to set it in the Spyro universe.
What?
We're gonna be versing Ripto.
Oh, Marshall, I just realized, what if I was actually right, but your setting was also right?
What do you mean?
So the Spyro universe, but this setting's equivalent in the Spyro universe.
Oh,
Oh, it's terrible.
oh gosh. Oh god.
I'm just sitting here like.
I think that's the premise of the first game, isn't it?
No,
With
I
Nasty
haven't played
Nork.
it.
If you think about it too hard, technically Nasty Nork. I've just ruined Chris's childhood.
I've never actually played Spyro, I'm just pretending to.
Oh, okay.
Spyro.
How dare you! I have Spyro on my arm!
Yeah, blasphemy!
Blasphemy! I actually had somebody at work go, "What's your tattoos?" And I'm like, "Frickin' Spyro!"
I play both.
Porque no los dos.
It's like, how dare you not know what Spyro is?
That little purple dragon solved me through a lot of challenges.
Yes, that purple dragon is my friend for many
Yes,
years. So sad.
Con multilingual.
Are you sending?
What?
None of you understood. I just.
No.
No.
One here actually. I am the only person. Person.
So
here,
I've got
I should say,
Chris's and
with
Shona's skills and goal. Do you have yours, Ben? Or do you need me to wave at you too?
I'm kind of blanking on mine because the last one I used was a pretty good one, but I've already used it. I don't want to get stale.
I accidentally waved at you twice. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. It's like, hello!
Hello.
You're just excited.
I am just.
Oh yeah, Marshall. How many points would everyone's goals have? Would mine be because mine would require some setup. I'm not sure if it would be quite a story.
Oh.
Or it's actually not that intensive. It would be probably.
I'm debating with Shona's because it looks like it'll be very difficult.
I feel like mine wouldn't actually be too difficult, but I've never played the game.
What are you trying to be? Be a banana wizard or something?
No.
Damn it! I'm completely blanking on a goal.
I'll say, Chris, because of the setting, you'll get like 2 points. If Shona manages to somehow get hers completed, that'll be like a 6 points.
Oh, it goes up to 3.
Oh, it only goes up to 3?
Okay.
So we're gonna
Yeah,
max
overall.
it to a 3. So you'd have a 2, she'd have a 3.
And we're just waiting on Ben.
Yeah.
Juggling cats. Being a children's clown. Being a pie wizard. Wearing a steam engine as a hat.
I think I've got one now.
Okay.
None of those.
Driving a plastic locomotive. Oh.
Is there any other dice I need? Because I found like a normal dice. But
Normal
is there
dice.
any other-
Just a normal dice.
Okay. Because I've realised there's a lot more dice out there now.
Yes, there is a lot more dice than just a 6-sided die. And I like how a singular die is called a die.
Instead of dice. Yeah. You want to show the others your new field guide, by the way?
Yes. How cool is that?
Oh.
I went up to Hillsville and Chris has gotten it for me. It's awesome. There's so much in it. I've been sitting here looking through it. And yes, you're right, Chris. I do want everything in it. I am just going to circle the whole book.
Interesting.
It's just field guide to the birds that Shona wants.
Yes, exactly.
Everything. And it doesn't include the cassowary, by the way.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in that. I'll just get land and I'll put an aviary over my house and all my acreage and put my birds in there. It'll be fine.
Alright, now I've got everyone's goals and skills. I'm going to have a test for control.
Alright.
So basically what happens is you each have 10 points apart from Chris.
Yeah, because I only have 7.
To basically you've got up to 10 points to bet to try and take control. So you're basically betting against other people how many points you're going to spend to take control over John.
Alright.
Yeah.
And do you get the points back or is like once they're gone, that's it?
Once they're gone, that's it, unless you have a rest.
I think you also get 1 back every turn you're not active, I think. Or something
Yeah.
like that. But yes. the
Okay,
rest
so
is
you can
amazing.
like skip a turn.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, like, if one of us had a really easy goal, like, let's say Ben's was to, I don't know, push people over, then he could sit back and then have other people do his win for him. So let's say my goal was to, I don't know, steal from people, right? But I'm not active, and your character steals from someone to maybe get a knife in order to do your killing people goal. I still get a point, even though I wasn't in control.
No.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not stealing from people, by the way. It's something much better than that.
Alright, so if I've got 10 points and I skip a turn, can I get 11 points or is that it? Like 10 is max?
Just 10 is max.
Okay.
You're capped at 10. I'm capped at 7 because I picked another skill.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, well, I'm going to write that down because I will forget my points and I need to keep track.
And this is why I have my notes in front of me. So,
That's why I have my D10.
Alright.
I have like my phone up with my notes to copy and paste people's goals and skills. So, Chris has already bet, and now I just gotta wait for everyone else.
I'm being a bit conservative. Shona, if you're not sure what to do, you can always bet low so that someone else might gain control. Or you might bet 0, just so you can sit back and watch.
Here we go.
To kind of see the setting or whatever.
Wait, and where does the dice come into play?
That's to actually do things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So So if you roll like a low number, like you don't get to do it. And if you roll a high number, then it's like you get to do it. Is that how it works?
Pretty
Sort of,
much.
yeah. So, the way it works is to do anything that you don't have a skill in, it's a 6. If you do have a skill in something, it's a 3. We seem to be working with a house rule that I came up with, and I quite like it, that if you are doing something that someone else has a skill in, it's a 5+, and you can bring down the challenge on those by 1 for every willpower you choose to spend. So if you spend, say, 2 willpower on something you're not skilled at, it's a 4+ instead of a 6+.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll start to make sense.
I feel like I'll just learn on the fly. I feel like I'll remember things better that way.
That's how you learn everyone is John, but you pick it up extremely quickly.
There we go.
Your games are so complicated.
Sorry,
Yes
I've
and
got
no.
a complete echo because it's on my phone and my computer.
All good.
I was saying,
Alright.
phone.
Ben, have you... So who's Ben?
You are the only one who has bet, Chris.
Oh, no! You've got to say the number of willpower you're willing to bet.
And you can
And the one
privately
who has
message me
the
how much
most
you're going to bet.
uses
as well.
that amount, but gains control. Yeah.
Okay, so are we like starting now, or?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
Here's
this
the
is
number.
like, this is like John getting out of bed in the morning.
Basically.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, that's what he's doing.
Alright, well, can I skip a turn and let you guys get John out of bed?
Okay.
Yeah, just bet 0 then.
Alright, yeah, I'll bet 0.
Okay. We got 2 bets.
Now, Ben decides everything. My bet is low enough to beat. I think it would be better if Ben took control for the first turn, though.
Ooh.
gonna be sorely disappointed
Ooh, Chris. You have control.
Awesome! So what do I say?
Alright, so...
It's gonna be... You're gonna love this character so much.
Oh no, I'm kind of scared.
So, Chris.
Because only Marshall and Ben will get me.
So, Chris, you wake up in a line. You seem to have blacked out for a little bit. And there is a person in the front of that line who is speaking in German, from what you can gather.
Do I speak German?
Yes, you speak German.
Awesome. Do I know what he's saying?
Yes, you know what he is
Is
saying.
he making fashion advice?
Sorry?
Is this kind man giving out fashion advice? Is he giving dietary tips? What's he saying?
I mean, in a particular sense, he could technically be giving out fashion advice.
Alright.
In a really fucked up way. But what you realize what this man is saying is he's basically separating the Jews from the non-Jews into lines.
Oh, God.
So he's giving out fascist advice.
Yes, he's giving out fascist advice. And anyone who has blonde hair and blue eyes is immediately taken away.
Well,
Do I know what
they
color my eyes
disregard the Geneva Convention.
Do I know what my eye and hair colour are?
Please tell me we're not wearing pajamas.
Oh, but it's already taken a turn.
It's gonna get a lot worse, Jonah. A lot worse.
You seem to recall how you look like. You have very dark hair. You have somewhat of a biggish nose. You remember something of your family having a Jewish descent.
Uh-oh.
You may.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
How many people are in the line? How many people are in the line with me?
25 are in front of
five.
you. 25 are in front of you, I should say.
25.
Yeah.
Well, I look to the people around me, stretch out my arms, and say, Friends, this is the time to embrace the one true being worthy of worship, the greater hip thruster of neck snaps. Follow me! And I would like
you gotta get your ass shot, man.
I would like you to roll to see how convincing you are.
So what skill is this? Does this come under my third skill?
This comes under your third skill.
3.
Oh, I feel like very just people start turning their heads, and they are very fascinated about this being that you were talking about. This has also started to grab the attention of the German uniformed man in the front of the line who is separating people.
Just like points with his bat and like, oh, you got the shit.
With my arms outstretched, I preach, "He is a being who shall come in decades to come. He is said to be capable of snapping 1,000 necks with but a single hip thrust."
You start to hear a little bit of murmuring from the people that are in the line. You can hear some murmuring from the people in the lines next to you as well.
Strange birds just shouting about their crazy stuff.
All in all, you've got about roughly 68 people murmuring between each other about this being known to snap 1,000 necks with but a single hip thrust. The person in front of you turns to you and says,
So, as we're talking... What was the person in front of me saying?
Okay, the person in front of you turns to you and says, "What is this being you speak of?"
He is the one true deity of worship, and if you follow my lead, he shall smile upon us all and free us from our oppression.
He starts to nod thoughtfully. Now the guard who was in front of the line is starting to slowly make his way down the line towards you.
I shall start to dance to get his attention, and I would like to violently hip thrust on the spot.
I would like you to roll for hip thrusting.
3.
Alright, you managed to start hip thrusting. This certainly grabs the attention of the guard, considering nobody else is hip thrusting in the lines and look very dead.
Yes!
While this
man comes to me. He's clearly heard the divine word of the great hip thruster. He has come to join us. He can be our first convert. Blessed be this man. May his hips be very flexible and his arms be strong.
Hey, there we go.
we all have face cam now.
Feet back, feet back.
You know, that's like, am I the only one getting that?
There we go.
So what happens next, Marshall? Tell us all what happens next.
Alright. Well, he certainly gets close enough that he's standing now in front of you, and he's just like, "What the hell is this commotion that you're making? You are disturbing."
Sir, are you not here to join the great society of the hip thrusting neck snapper?
I'm gonna get you to roll.
You're really trying to convert people of the fascist persuasion to a god that they don't recognise.
Yes.
I'm trying to
Come on,
Two.
Oh.
Disappointing roll.
Somehow I think we're going to get a front row seat to the very front of the line.
Yep.
God.
I hope this is being recorded.
The guard, not believing anything that you're saying because he has various other people that he follows and believes, decides to use the butt of his pistol to knock you out, and we're gonna have another test of control.
I'm gonna actually bet 0 here.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet 0 because I can't see how I could actually do anything in this situation.
I'm going to bet 1. I want to see what happens.
Oh, now you know what my character is. And now you know why I was so damn excited to play him.
Yes, very, very, very much so. Alright, oh boy. You wake up.
Oh, boy, it's wrecked.
You wake up in a fully fenced off area wearing striped pajamas.
That little jab was for me, wasn't it? Wearing striped pajamas.
Yeah.
There's not a little German boy called Bruno, is there?
There might be.
If there is, we're in some very dark territory.
Yeah!
Those who know what I'm talking about, those who don't, do not ask.
Yeah, so you wake up in a bed in a very fenced off area wearing striped pajamas. Do you wish to...
I look down at the pajamas, look back up and go, shit. Well, yeah, seeing as I'm German, I guess I'd say Scheiße.
Yeah.
Das ist Deutsch!
I look over to the guy next to me and go, what are you in for?
He just
I'm
kind of
alone
looks... He just kind of looks at you. And it's just like... You haven't heard? They're rounding up all of us Jews and sending us into these camps. You were in Auschwitz.
I love how my campaigns are all in. You wake up in Melbourne. Marshall's first campaign is, congratulations everyone, you're in Auschwitz.
Yeah, mine was the first one my guy woke up in was freaking Macca's freaking freezer, for God's sake. Are you going for the opposite extreme?
0 to 100 real fast.
Yeah. Macca's freezer, German oven.
Do you wish to explore?
I feel like this is how it all ends.
No, this is how it all begins.
This is how it all begins.
I turn to the guy in front of me and go, do you want to get out of here?
Oh, I would love to get out of here if there
Yeah,
was
that's
a
right.
way.
I'm going to start a revolution.
Oh, you'll have a revolution, my friend, you will.
Definitely have a revolution. Like,
Release the Jews!
free us. It's like,
Viva la revolution!
Viva la revolution. He's just like, alright, I got nothing else to lose.
I go, round up some, well, that's probably a poor choice of words, and this is, gather as many strong people as possible, and we're gonna take this freaking ass. We're gonna take this freaking shithole.
Gathering lots of strong people. I really like this development.
Yeah, this is History 2.0, the one they don't tell you about. Shit It's gonna change this time.
I want you to roll for like how enthusiastically this guy kind of takes your message, and how he
Yeah,
could either
please
be
just,
like, yeah, I'll gather some people up, or he'll be like, yeah, revolution.
Can I change my willpower thing? Because I didn't know where we were going with this.
I will count it as like your second skill. Technically, I'm gonna allow it.
Well, if nothing else, it might come under one of my skills.
Yeah, it might come under one of
That's
Chris's.
still a fine.
Which,
Okay.
Revolution counts for the cost.
yeah, it technically counts. So, yeah, we'll roll with it.
Crooked. Yeah, I'm rolling on a laptop, so. No, literally, the dice on the laptop.
Oh.
I guess I'll add 2 willpower. Just
Yeah.
to be safe. So down to 7 now.
Yep.
There we go. So if it's part of my skill, then it's So I got 4 all up.
4 all up. Yep.
Yep.
So
I got a 2 and 2 willpower on top of that, and possibly +1 from skill, something like that.
Yep.
I don't know if that passes or not.
It passes. He's just like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah.
Viva la revolution!
Viva la revolution! He's like, all right, I'm gonna gather some strong men. Just bolts out and starts running around like a madman, looking for the strongest people he can find.
Not really a smart thing to do in Auschwitz, but okay.
No.
Be free, my friend! Be free!
He's very enthusiastic.
I'm sure the sniper would be too. Auschwitz, of course it's got snipers. He's going, yeah, revolution! The club's going, yeah.
Yeah, they're just like, they're in a line.
I love how on my screen it paused with Ben doing this for a second.
What would you like to do
dark.
while he's gathering recruits?
I feel like we'll have a lot of synergy here.
No, never mind. Yeah, I'll just wait for the guy to.
You'll wait
so
for
I
him
guess,
to come back. All right.
Let
So
you do your bidding.
yes.
do my bidding. All right.
Yeah, my nose is pointing enough to be Mr. Burns, and I'm not nearly jaundiced enough.
You're just not down.
I feel like if they just tried to explain why everyone's yellow in The Simpsons, they'd just say they're all on the verge of kidney failure.
Alright, so what's happening now?
All right. So the guy comes back and he brings along.
He doesn't accidentally bring one of the guards, does he?
Surprisingly, no.
Oh, good, because technically they are the strongest people there. So.
I think he got what you were saying.
Look, there's all these guys, and one a guard.
Alright, so he comes back with 9 other people. They look fairly strong and reasonable. Obviously, they are quite tired and sickly looking due to the conditions in the camp, but overall, they're pretty strong.
Yeah, they'd be up there with strength in the Jewish category.
Yeah.
The Germans, their category would be a lot stronger, but that's because, they're not the ones in prison. So.
They're not the ones in prison and they're actually being fed properly.
Yeah. So I call everyone to gather in, and I say quietly to everyone, okay, now we have to spread the word. Rebellion. Spread it far and wide, but be discreet.
I just love the idea that there's two rumors going around Auschwitz, one of revolution and one of the great hip thrusting neck snapper.
I say to everyone, just and make sure not to tell the sympathizers. Nope.
Okay. I will get
Actually,
you...
I don't think the sympathizers were in Auschwitz. They were in the ghettos. They weren't in Auschwitz. So never mind that last bit.
No, never mind.
No sympathizers here.
Alright, I'll get you to roll again. You have the help of Chris's skill and your skill.
Just to be safe, I'm going to use 3 willpower, because I really don't want this to fail. 4. Plus Chris's thing, so 5.
Yay! Alright, so they're all really enthusiastic about revolution, and they're all ready to spread the word secretly and not to let the guards know. They're like, yeah!
So
Rise up, rebellion!
In this game, is the guy Joseph or just Joe? John, sorry. No, it would be John. Yeah.
It'd be John.
Wait, I hate to be that person, but so you rolled a total of 4, wasn't it, Ben?
4, yes.
Because you need to roll a 5 to succeed if you're using my skill. We can keep going forward.
We can keep going forward.
Yeah, Chris.
I'm not going to complain.
I'm not complaining. I'm gonna start a revolution in our...
Oh, look at the time at the moment. Look at the time right now. Look at it on the screen.
9/11, make a wish.
Anyway.
I've got 24-hour time, so that's not what I'm saying.
It's 9/11. Make a
21/11.
wish.
Sounds like a band name, honestly. So, what's happening now?
Alright, so they're all going to go around spreading revolution. They're all pretty excited to have an uprising against the Germans that have imprisoned them in this god-awful camp and making them burn their own and shoveling their own remains, sifting for any valuable...
You're so detailed!
Yes, tragically he is.
Oh my god!
They're all tired of being pushed around and being malnourished. So they're definitely spreading the word.
They want food, damn it.
They want food, damn it. Even if that means eating the Germans that have imprisoned them.
I suppose you could say they want to eat the Reich.
Well, eventually they're going to get some German stuff. Okay, I think my one went a little too far.
Alright,
So what
Yeah,
happened?
and this just keeps getting worse. Now we're eating people.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go for a small rest.
You're gonna go small rest? Yeah.
That would regenerate my willpower.
Yep.
And I'm gonna roll 0 on my next one, so the ball is in someone else's court.
Alright.
hello, boys.
Oh god!
That's sure enough.
Hello, lies.
Alright, so we go like willpower now?
Yep. Test for control.
Oh wait, okay, I got a question. If we get willpower, like say and I don't win, do I get my willpower points back?
You only expend it if you win. Yeah.
Yeah.
You only expend it if you win.
Alright, so
I've sent in mine. Ben's betting 0. It's all in your court, Shona.
And everyone's at full willpower, seeing as I did a rest.
Yeah.
okay.
It works well for me.
Well, I'm gonna put in 2 points.
Oh,
Oh wait, you can't tell, can you? Wait, how do I? Can I just text you it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
You got,
Sorry, my
you can send
bad.
it a different answer if you want.
Sorry.
You can send it a different answer if you want. Then.
Oh yeah. I'll put something
We don't
different.
truly know. We don't truly know your answer. I feel like you might be.
Alright, I'm just picking something different.
All right.
I'm having a real trouble keeping up with everyone. It's just got Chris just going, and then.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
All right.
Yeah, all I'm seeing is just a blur of hands.
All right. Shona takes control.
Who takes control?
Shona.
Yeah, you just kind of glitched it when you said it's like, and
Yeah, I did.
take control. We're all still.
Skype did it on purpose.
Alright, so we're in the rebellion, aren't we?
Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
the rebellion.
Okay, so I turn to the people. Well, there's one guy in my cell with me, isn't there? One guy.
Yeah, I'd say there's one still
like
there.
a cramped housing thing, isn't it?
Sorry.
Like, are we in a cell, or are we in like one of those kind of housing things?
One of those
barracks,
housing things.
Okay,
Well, I wouldn't say a
so-
cell, so to speak. We've only just gone in there, so these are the new recruits, as it were, to bury their own.
Oh god.
Yeah, there's Big Terry. He's the real skinny guy in the corner.
There's Jim. He's the skinny guy in the other corner.
There's Bare Bones. No description necessary.
Okay, so I turn to the people around me and I say to them, "We need to gain power. We need to lead the rebellion. We need the help of the banana gods."
Oh yes, 2 cults in the rebellion. I'm changing the Skype chat to that.
They look very confused. Well, this guy looks very confused at you, and he's like, "Banana gods?"
I look at him with a completely straight face and say to him, "Yes, they will give us the power."
Yep, the power of potassium.
That's amazing. I love this campaign already.
He's just like, "Is this banana god Jehovah?"
I just look at them and I'm like, "Yes."
He's like, oh, okay then.
2 cults in the rebellion. This is going to be amazing.
I then look over the crowd and say to them, "Go, my minions! Find the banana trees!"
You're going to be somewhat short on banana trees, I have a feeling.
You're going to be somewhat disappointed.
But, this character that I'm playing has no idea. This character just thinks there's bananas everywhere. So,
Oh, God.
They all just kind of look at you like, and to each other like, "Banana trees? What?" What?
Alright, now, what is this room like? Do I have any way I could try to escape? Like, is there, barred windows? Like, I don't mean anything I could actually escape from, just make a completely failed attempt at trying to escape.
You can freely leave the building. You'll just be met with some
Okay.
German guards.
Okay.
Think of it like this. It's a huge block of land. There's just all these kind of huts racks or whatever. That's basically all these bunks built on each other.
Racks of land.
There's a big yard and there's guards on towers and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so now that everyone's looking at me really confused, I bless myself with the power of the banana gods, look at them, be like, peace out, I'm out of here, walk out, and then try to sneak past the guards. And like, can I like...
What about those two of us are now arguing over who's the correct deity to worship? Banana god, hip thrusting neck snapper.
Yeah.
I gotta get
There's
you
Banana
to...
God, hip thrusting neck snapper, and the revolutionary leader who is now on the backstage. I'm just going. Banana God.
I gotta get you to roll to bless yourself with the banana god. AKA Job.
Alright, I got a 3.
Ooh. I'm gonna say you feel a slight tingle. You feel like maybe the banana gods have blessed you a little bit, but you are not completely invulnerable. Those guards are gonna notice you immediately as you walk out, and probably more so because you've been causing a ruckus.
Okay, wait, so...
I thought the tingle might be lice. There's crap loads there.
yeah, there's crap. Well, you don't know if the tingling is the lice or if it's the banana gods.
Alright, so I've gone out, the guards have seen me, so what the guards like just looking at me now.
Yeah, they're looking at you. You've caused a ruckus. They're not very impressed with the commotion that you've been making, but they're not going to do anything. They're just kind of there to observe and give you your task. You notice one particular German guard who is in a slightly different uniform to the rest of them, maybe higher in power, perhaps maybe medical, walks towards you, hands you a shovel.
Okay, so...
Hit him in the face. Hit him in the face.
I look at him, I say, the power of bananas compels you. I hit him over the head with the shovel and leg it.
Okay, I'm gonna get you to roll, to basically, I'm gonna get you to roll for, strength to hit him over the head.
And it's a 5 to pass, because that's one of mine.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, strength is a really
I got a 6.
Nice.
Nicely done. You knock him completely unconscious with the shovel before he could even get a word in.
Okay, so are we at the point where there's like a bit of brain matter on those pebbles now, or?
I'm gonna say that he has a sufficient gash in his head. You've kind of used the shovel, side on, kind of like smashed halfway into his head. I'd say there's a little bit of brain matter everywhere, bleeding out a little bit. You are now covered in blood. You now also have every single sniper in the sniper towers pointing their gun at you.
Okay, so I look up to the sky, raise my hands, and say, "Banana gods protect me," and I now think I'm invincible.
Don't kill us. I want to start the cult of the hip thrusting neck snapper.
Please tell me someone has resist bullets.
No. I cannot hip thrust the bullets away. I will try.
Oh, can I intimidate them away?
Okay, now be a really good time to like give somebody else control now that I've gotten them into this mess. Hey, Chris, you up for it?
Oh, I think I actually achieved my goal.
Yeah, you have achieved your goal. I'm giving it to
You
you.
achieved your goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it?
Break something.
He's technically not wrong. Definitely broke
That's
something.
why it's good to have broad goals, because then you can realize, like last time was injure someone. Didn't say it had to be someone else. Just get some coffee.
It's like my last one where it was like cause a shipwreck. Doesn't mean it has to be somebody else's ship. Could be your own.
Yeah, last time my guy was very self-destructive towards himself.
Alright, so you have all of these snipers pointing towards you, and you're going to try and call upon the banana gods to protect you from their bullets. Is that correct?
Yes,
Right.
that's correct.
I need you to roll
Please
for
work.
that.
I want this to work so badly. Every atom of my being wishes for this to work as planned.
You can use willpower to help you.
By the way, Shoda, if it's your skill, you can spend 2 willpower to guarantee it succeeds.
Alright, well, can I use my willpower, one of my skills for this? Please?
I'll give it to you for your second skill. I mean, I can see that being a thing.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I rolled a 3, so how does that then work with, like, everything else? Like, how does that work with the skill and everything? Like, does that add points, or?
For
If you had
Well, if it's one of the skills, doesn't it pass on a 3?
yeah, if it's one of the skills, it'll pass on a 3, but you can add willpower. Say if it isn't like one of your skills to pass it. Yeah.
Well, I got a 3, so does that mean I made it?
You've just made it. Somehow, miraculously, you just lie on the ground and use the German man's corpse as a shield. And the snipers shoot into it, and they can't see you anymore. You've disappeared from their sight. They're too high up to see where the hell that you've gone. All they see is just their commander lying on the floor with his brain splattered everywhere.
Alright, and on that note, can we, see if anybody else wants to take control?
Yes, you can take a break, and people can test for control.
Oh, I want this one. Chris,
I've sent in my number. Things
sent
shall
in your
happen
number?
as they shall.
With a 2, Chris succeeds.
oh no.
So have the bullets stopped coming?
The bullets have stopped coming. They're reloading, but they're also very confused as to where the hell you have gone.
So,
Just like, we just shot at them. Where did they go?
Okay, are there any buildings or anything I can get behind?
Um,
I wake up under a corpse.
yeah, you wake up.
Brain matter on me and I have no idea.
Yes, you wake up
This
under.
man. Okay. As I wake up, I look at this man who's got brain splattered at him, and I quickly come to the conclusion that the blessings of the hip thrust of neck snapping is shining upon me already. It is not his normal modus operandi, but perhaps he broke it with one of his mighty hip thrusts by accident. A being of such power can do these things, and I think, and with a newfound confidence, I run up to find some recruits behind some cover if I can find it.
Hey, Chris, I love how we're just both worshipping really weird gods.
Well, there is technically somewhat of a building where the commander has come out of. A little bit more better for handling bullets than the rest of the place, especially some particular parts of it where you feel that maybe if a bullet were to hit it, things would explode.
Hip thruster of neck snap would not shine upon unsnapped necks. Cannot do that.
Oh,
So do I find anyone inside? I'll go into that building. Do I find anyone inside it?
yes, you do. You find 5 German soldiers sitting around a table playing poker.
I raise up my arms and say, friends, join me in the cult of the great and mighty hip thruster of neck snaps. He shall shine upon us in the future, in the years to come. He shall come here in person, but for now, he can only bless us in spirit. And I'd like to try to convert them to the cult.
Alright, I'm gonna get you to roll for that.
I'm predicting the future.
Alright, let's see. 4!
Well done, you succeed.
I have Nazi convert.
For some reason, you feel that they might be a little bit intoxicated, but you're you're glad that they are welcoming your leadership in this newfangled cult. You seem to be a bit more convincing than their own leader, and
Raised blood and belted out with the shovel.
He was slain by the hip thruster of neck snaps unintentionally in an attempt to establish me as the rightful ruler of this camp in his mighty hip thrusting neck snapping name.
they just kind of look to their commander, whose brains are splattered across the floor, and they look to you, and they're just like, "He was an asshole anyway." And then just toast some beer towards each other. And to you.
You bashed his brains in. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, would I have been conscious for when the sniper bullets were coming at me?
I don't think you would have been.
Okay, so I have no idea that there were any gunshots at all.
No.
So, friends, to truly bring about his glory, we shall need more people. Take me to where there is a large congregation of open-minded folk.
Uh-oh. I see a very horrible loophole.
I do too, and I'm taking it.
Oh.
They're just like, yes, we know a place where there's a large congregation of people.
Excellent.
In one of the chambers. And they start walking you over to one of the guest chambers.
Oh, this is truly splendid.
Oh, God.
Go forth. So do they walk me to the entrance or whatever?
They walk you to
Wait, where
the
do they-
entrance. And they unlock the door and open it to some very upset people inside. Some of them are hugging each other, some of them are hugging their knees, some of them are crying hysterically.
And there's that guy in the corner just shitting himself.
Yeah, there's a...
I say to them, never fear, friends, for I have come with the word of the great hip thruster of neck snaps. Follow me, and you shall all be given safety and well-being.
I'm gonna get
I'd
you
like
to
to try to
roll
convert-
again.
Oh, it's a 1!
The guards seem to snap out of their drunken state and push you into the chamber and lock the door.
That
Upon
was a
being
good game,
pushed into the chamber. You manage to somehow hit your head on the door and become knocked unconscious, and test for control begins. Chris is
Well,
not.
guys, I got us into a gas chamber.
I know how to get out of this.
Alright.
I think I'm gonna put a zero. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sending in a 0 too.
It's all yours.
Need all the willpower I can get.
Alright. Ben takes control.
Okay.
You wake up inside a gas chamber with an upset amount of people crying hysterically. Some are talking to themselves, rocking back and forth. It seems like a pretty dark and confined space with many people inside.
I use my first skill,
Yeah.
and I punch the door as hard as I can, and I use 8 as my willpower.
8? How can you even spend 8?
I've got 10, and I was on 0. Well, I was on 10.
No, but like, it just brings it down 1, which means that you've just guaranteed success to punch through a steel door with 2.
That's why I'm using so much willpower. Let's see what happens. I got a 1, so that's...
You know what? For comedy purposes, I'm gonna allow this.
What I would do too, but it's the rules.
Somehow you manage to harness the power of Popeye.
I go...
I would have loved it if Ben was also worshipping Popeye.
Everyone has their own gods they're worshipping.
You're going, oh, banana, go on. She's going, next step, I'm going, the power of spinach.
Alright, you harness the power of Popeye and manage to smash open the steel door, sending it flying, shocking the guards that have locked you in there. 2 of them have become trapped underneath the steel door, and it's too heavy for them to push off of themselves. And the other 2 remaining that were at the sides of the door are looking at each other in absolute fear. One of them has pissed themselves.
I would like to state, just for context, that these guys saw a guy come out, preached to them about the hip thrusting neck snapper, then they brought him into the thing where he preached to a whole lot of people, they shoved him in, locked the door, then the door burst off and crushed them.
And I just slowly walk out of the chamber and just kind of swing my arm going, I go, I killed your commander. Now I'm your god now. And I go, if you don't want the same as that door, you get it in line.
The 2 guards that were standing at the sides who have seen this unholy atrocity, one has subsequently pissed himself, both fall to their knees, start crying, and it's just like, please, don't hurt us. Spare us, the mighty god of the hip thrusting and neck snapping.
Ben, I love your character now.
Like I just turned into a guy who's just inciting revolution into Popeye. Revolution!
I am officially going to help you out actively.
Alright, so that's...
I'm just thinking of some guy just in the future just recounting the history books, just going, and on an awful day somewhere in Poland, this just out of nowhere, this 3 separate religions were formed in this camp. And from feat of absolute Herculean strength, the door of one of the chambers just burst open. And the guy who did it just freaking started swinging his arm around. It just sounded like Popeye for some reason.
I would also like to state that this is probably also the same universe as Captain ties his crew together via rope upon crashing, and his 18 crew make it out. So this is a universe where sea madness is a thing. Only this is afterwards madness.
Alright, so Ben has gained another set of points, and Chris has also gained has gained a set of points.
Oh yeah. I completely forgot my goal.
I guess I could still
I just went there. Superhero.
Yeah, because 2 of them weren't crushed,
Two of them
and they are
weren't
now
crushed, I
praising the hip
Yeah.
thrusting neck snapper.
How many do I have been sacrificed?
How many have been sacrificed? Well,
Only 2.
only 2. So you have a total of 4 points, and Ben also has a total of 4 points.
Weird. Oh yeah. I broke the guy's face. I broke the door, and I also broke the 2 guys under the door.
Yes.
Nice.
All right. So what's happening? Oh yes, Ben, you're still in control.
Actually, I achieved my goal, so...
He's
Yeah,
achieved his goal.
So that's another test for control.
Yep.
And I go up 1 willpower because I spent a turn without it.
Yeah.
And
Alright, so are we just like texting in like our willpower points?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so 3 people have been sacrificed so far, and 1 person's shorts.
someone. Wait, who was the 3rd person sacrificed?
Commander, who got hit with a shovel and killed, and 2 guys under the door.
Oh yeah, he was technically not sacrificed. He was just killed with a shovel.
It was just killed with the shovel.
Well, technically, the guys under the door weren't sacrificed either.
Yeah,
So
technically.
I think we're just counting people who have been killed in our adventure, so...
We're just gonna count Nazi murder.
Hence why I'm including
Alright.
guys' shorts.
So I've sent in my points.
Yeah.
As have I.
Ooh.
So Shona, you sent in yours.
Ooh. Okay.
I've points in.
There's 5.
Chris and Shona have both tied. So you can either add willpower, or pardon me, I can get you both to roll a d6.
Shall we roll?
Would you like to roll to see who gets a higher
Have you-
number, or would you like to add willpower?
I'm happy rolling.
You're happy rolling?
What did you roll?
I haven't rolled yet. I just got a 1. Have fun.
Oh, I got 5. Okay, so I look around at all the death surrounding me and this punched in door, and I'm like, the banana gods have given me strength!
I love to think that these guys now think that the hip thrusting neck snapper is just one of many banana gods.
I look back into the room of scared people, and I'm like, follow me! We shall find the banana gods! And I run off. Completely unaware if they're following me or not.
I just love the fact that the guards at the door just think we're absolutely batshit, because we are. But yeah, one was going, be free, my brothers, and the other one's going, and the other one's going, banana gods! And they're just completely and utterly horrified because of what they've seen. They think we're that shit, and they just saw us destroy a door. A massive steel vault door. So
While you were running crazily, one of your particular followers bumps into you and is just like, "I have managed to procure a banana for you," and hands you a banana.
Oh,
I
I thought
figured
the banana was a euphemism for something really not nice. I've got a banana. It's a little brown and a little smelly, but it's a banana.
I'm like, I mean, technically I have one too, but...
Okay, so
I like how my work is just like... don't be afraid of your surgery, be afraid of the other one. And I'm just like, how do I say that I'm not getting the other surgery? I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna roll with it and be like, yes.
Okay, so I pick the banana out of his hands. My face just lights up with joy at the sight of a banana, and I go, "This is a gift from the gods. It is a sign. We must forage for more bananas. Go!" And I send him out as I run off, cherishing this banana really tenderly to make sure I don't hurt the banana.
Yes, banana, yes.
Cradling a banana as you're running.
Okay,
How
so
on
now,
earth did he manage to go, find a banana in Auschwitz?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I thought it was a euphemism. I'm like, how the frickin' hell do you find fresh fruit in the frickin' there of all places?
okay, so now, do we have more guards and all that coming? Or am I on my own? Is there people following me? Paint the scenes.
Alright, well, we have some very confused snipers who are very scared to start shooting as they've just witnessed a bloody steel door come off of a bloody gas chamber, crush two of their men, has had their captain's brain splattered with a shovel. And upon this madness, they find a lot of the Jews freeing themselves and talking about "Viva la Revolution."
Alright. So,
You somehow seem to notice that the black smoke from the chimneys has started to subdue down. Doesn't quite have such a rancid smell in the air, but there's still quite a fair amount of rancid smell, but you pick that as probably the soldiers soiling themselves.
It's a little less ashy, a little more fecal.
Yeah, a little less ashy, a bit more fecal.
It still smells like shit, but literally.
Fudge!
But this time it's actual shit. You now have the two guards who were in front of that little building complex looking at you quite terrified, but also confused as to where on earth you got a banana from in the first place.
I love how they're perplexed by that the most. Not, how did you break the steel door? How did you get a fresh banana?
okay, so now we've got all the people surrounding me, and everyone's starving, and they see I have a banana. So all of a sudden, everyone tries to take my banana. So I'm like holding up in the air, and I'm like, "No, this is our future peasants." I'm trying to keep the banana away from them as I run away with all these people chasing after me, trying to get the banana off me.
So you believe the people are chasing you because they're after the banana?
Yes.
Okay, they're more just chasing you because they're like, please free us from this fucking place.
Yeah, because my character, everything revolves around bananas. They have no clue about anything else. Everything is tied into bananas.
Alright, so now you were running around the complex with a bunch of Jews just running after you, shouting "Viva la Revolution" while you are holding a banana, going, "No! Keep the banana safe!" At this point, the snipers start to fire into the crowd of rebellious Jews who are chasing after you to try and calm the commotion.
Okay, so at this point, I see the snipers, and I stop, and I say to the crowd, "Quickly, surround me, be my meat shield."
Oh, Jesus. That just took a dark turn.
Oh, this is technically leading a cult too. It's like you have a duck fail my head.
Alright, they start to surround you, hoping that you will free them, that you have a plan, and
They're going to be so disappointed.
one by one, they start to fall to the ground with headshot wounds, and I'm going to get you to roll to make sure that you yourself don't get hit by a bullet.
Quick, roll the hip thrust.
I got a 4.
Okay,
Does
so
that mean I die? I live? So,
you
while
manage to avoid the bullets. The snipers can't see you within the crowd of Jewish people that are surrounding you, but now they're becoming quite disheveled and upset because all of their friends are dying before their very eyes by snipers, and they were hoping that you would lead them. So now they are starting to very quickly disperse and get away from the snipers shooting at them. This causes the snipers to stop firing. They see that everyone has stopped revolting, basically, and are going back to their tasks. And you were just left in the middle like, oh.
Okay, so
It was bananas going, uh-oh.
Yeah.
okay, now I want to know, are the snipers in throwing distance of the banana?
I mean, technically, yes. One of them is.
Okay, so I hold the banana, I start chanting to it and rocking back and forth, then all of a sudden I hold it up and I go, "Banana gods bless me," and I throw it to hit one of the snipers on the head.
I'll get you to roll to throw a banana.
Oh, I got a 2.
Yes!
In your attempt to throw the banana, it somehow manages to swing back at your face almost like a boomerang and knocks you clean onto the ground. We have another test for control.
There you go.
I feel like you want this one, Chris. I can just tell.
Yeah, I'm just...
You were so happy when I got knocked out.
And the banana hits you. Yes! I wonder if it has some ulterior motives.
Alright, well, I'm just going to pass on this one.
You're gonna
Yeah.
pass? Okay.
Have fun. Oh, hip thrust, neck snapper.
I'm not. That is heresy. I am not the hip thruster neck snapper. It would be blasphemy for me to claim to be such a being.
You do realize I'm a voice in your head, right?
I will bet.
You wake up
You do
from...
realize you're the hip thrust neck snapper. Shut up!
You wake up from
Alright,
the
so-
ground and you see a banana next to your head.
I realized I was shoved into an enclosed space, preaching to all these people, and now I wake up with a banana next to me, and I think to myself, This is a gift, a sign from the hip-thrusting neck snapper. Yes, master, I shall fulfill your bidding.
I love how we both see the banana as a gift from the gods.
Yeah, for me, it's not spinach.
Do you wish to count the amount of dead Jews that are hanging around you?
They're technically not sacrifices.
Oh, God. Dark territory.
I'm not
dark
out to kill
territory.
people.
Danger.
And then,
Danger.
and so I shout out to the snipers, your ability to fire is marvelous, my friends. Join me and all these people under the worship of the great hip thruster of neck snaps. He shall augment your skill further. You shall find purpose and prosperity. And I would like to roll a
Yep.
I'm kind of scared, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that took a real dark turn.
Please roll high.
That was really distracting.
3.
I am going full role play with this character.
All right. They seem pretty
Well, that just
convinced.
took a dark turn. Yeah.
They seem pretty convinced. There's been a lot of chaos incarnate that has happened within this camp. A few of them are thinking to themselves, and one of them turns to the other sniper and shoots him clean in the head. While screaming, "You will be sacrificed to the hip thruster of neck snap." There are now 3 snipers.
I can't believe it. I accomplished my goal by telling this. And that means I technically pass out.
Yes.
Yeah!
Oh, this is one of the best ever Oranges Jordan sessions I ever seen. Definitely the best one I've ever played in.
Yeah, it's unlocked the herpes.
I haven't got my goal. Alright, so now is it like fighting for willpower again?
Is fighting for willpower again, yes.
Okay.
This is amazing. Thank you, Marshall. This is a fantastic first session. I really hope this is being recorded.
It is.
Oh, thank you. Praise be to the hip thruster of neck snaps. This shall be a tale told for the rest of time.
I'm just really upset that your god is more popular than mine.
You're just rambling about bananas. I'm giving very specific instructions from the hip thruster.
All right.
My god's done the most damage, though.
Yes. Very much.
Your god of fist.
God of fist. All right, with the 2, Shona takes control.
Oh man. Okay, so what's happened? We've got one of the snipers is on our side and not somebody else, right?
Well, you have all 3 snipers on your side. One of them has decided to sacrifice one of them to the hip thruster of neck snapping. So there is a dead sniper. There used to be 4. There is now 3.
There's a dead commander.
There's a dead commander. There are 2 dead guards underneath a steel door. There are a load of dead Jews surrounding you at the moment that have been shot. Some of them are injured.
Oh, there's 3 deities. 1 is a hip thrusting neck snapper, and 2 are dedicated to fruits and vegetables. One's spinach and one's bananas.
Iron and potassium.
Yep.
Neither of those are calcium, which makes necks very easy to break.
Okay, so I look to the snipers that are on my side, and I look at them and I say to them, quickly, Take me to your closest bananas.
They look a little confused, but I'll get you to roll.
Okay.
Yep.
6.
All right. They start climbing down from their sniper towers, and heading over to you. And they are like, "Yes,
I love
we shall take you to the nearest banana." They point to the banana that's on the ground at your feet.
I pick up the banana, I stare at it with a straight expression, I then look at them, throw it at his face and say, "More bananas!"
They go, "Okay." And lead you back into the building where the five guards were originally playing poker, and draw your attention to a crate that is filled with bananas.
Oh.
I am overjoyed. I cannot contain my excitement as I scream and run towards the crate and throw it open, seeing a golden ray of light and coming from the crate of bananas.
Oh, this is amazing.
Alright, so then, sorry Matt, I grab as many bananas as I can. I look over my shoulder at the snipers with this crazy look in my eye, and I say to them, "Gather the bananas."
They accept. They don't seem to notice the crazy look in your eye whatsoever. They seem pretty preoccupied by gathering the bananas and following you.
I love how the only people who are believing in either of these religions are not the people who are desperate, looking for any hope of escape. It's the Nazis.
Okay, so I walk out of the building carrying as many bananas as I can, with my new servants carrying bananas as well. I lay them out on the ground in a pentagram, then look at them and say, "Quickly, we need the blood of the innocent."
Oh. Oh no! Oh! Please tell me you're gonna summon the banana god.
All three of them start walking over to one particular group of Jews and seem to pull out from the group a smaller 6-year-old child. And start dragging them over to you.
This is pretty tame compared to everything else we've done.
Okay, so is there 1 or 2 guards with the kids?
All three of them are dragging this
All
poor
three.
child, who is
That's what's up,
kicking and
kids.
screaming at this point.
Okay. Alright, so...
It takes 3 guards.
Oh, wait. Does one of the guards have the knife, yeah? Has a knife?
All three of them have knives.
Alright, I walk up and I take the knife out of one of the guard's pockets and I look at them and I look down at the child, and at the last second I look up to the guard and slit his throat and say, "The true banana god needs strong blood. Only those who could actually kill a child are worthy." I'm even a guinea.
I love how this is your first session and you're going in it as hard as I am.
Okay, so I then drag the body of this guard over, much to the child's relief, and drag him in a circle around the pentagram with bananas, leaving a trail of blood. I then stand there chanting towards the banana gods.
Alright, I'm going to get you to roll to see if you summon the banana gods.
Come on, be successful. This is amazing.
Do I make it? With 4?
What number? 4? Yes, you do. You have
Okay.
successfully summoned the banana gods. You now have 3 points. And I'm going to say because you sacrificed that guard as well, Chris technically.
Yes, I do.
technically gets points.
Why are you getting gold? Do I achieve my goal too?
Yes, you technically achieved your
Yes.
goal too.
Because, I mean, technically, my goal does say sacrifice people to the hip-thrusting neck snapper, but these people don't know the distinction between the hip-thrusting neck snapper and the banana god, so they think they're the same guy.
I think that is the one.
And my goal, I could technically say I'm breaking the skin of the guy's neck.
Yes, and you also broke into the crate as well. Which counts as...
That's me.
So you're up to 6, Ben.
Sweet.
So, do we just keep going now? Or is that because everyone finished
Kill
their
John is dead.
Oh, we have to kill him!
Yeah,
Okay, well...
Oh,
so you,
Okay,
you
well,
have successfully summoned the banana gods, and the banana gods come in of what appears to be a very odd-looking horse creature with a horn on its head, wearing a banana crown. You hear some very faint voices saying, "Charlie, you're the Banana King, Charlie."
what?
Charlie the unicorn.
It's Charlie.
The banana god now.
Okay, so I run up to this creature. I am overjoyed. I bow down to it and start kissing its feet while saying, "Your Majesty is the Banana Lord." and on that note, can we go for willpower again?
Yes.
Yeah, you would have technically passed out because you succeeded on your goal.
Yeah, you succeeded on your goal. But I just wanted to add in the
No, it's
detail
gonna be very
of you have summoned Charlie the unicorn.
So is it just Charlie the unicorn, by the way, or is there a rider on Charlie the unicorn?
It's just Charlie the unicorn, but you hear the faint distance of the two female horses that
yeah.
are just like, "You're the Banana King, Charlie."
Okay, so I'm gonna... Hey, Ben.
Technically, they are
I'm gonna
all the
take-
banana gods.
I'm going hard on this one.
Oh wow.
Right ahead.
I'm just going to pass it. I'm not...
Ah, great. So I spent 6 willpower on nothing.
Pretty much.
So 3 willpower on nothing. I didn't go quite that hard. So I come to in front of a unicorn, do I not?
Yes, you come to in front of a unicorn.
Kissing its feet.
Oh no.
I open my mouth in amazement and I think, oh, this is a sacrifice sent unto me by the great hip thruster of neck snapping. He shall make a fine sacrifice. I grab Charlie the unicorn by the neck and I twist.
I would like you to roll to snap Charlie the unicorn's neck.
Yeah, there's
actually-
higher.
You know what? Because this is amazing, I'm going to spend 2 willpower, so I'm down on just 1. And so to auto succeed, I've just got to roll for the fun of it. Oh, it was a 2, so I'm glad I did.
Ooh.
I got...
I snapped the neck of Charlie the banana god. I have killed Jonah's god.
How dare you? My life is meaningless.
As soon as he got in control, but
You then pass out, Chris, and another test of control happens. You have succeeded in your goal.
That's my 5th sacrifice. I have sacrificed the banana god to the
as soon as John snaps the neck of the unicorn, he just hears this loud scream in the back of his mind, just going, ah!
Yeah. One of them go, "No! Charlie, no!"
That's pretty impressive, though. Not not only did he snap the neck of a horse with his bare hands, he snapped the neck of a horse that was the banana god.
This is the death of an era.
Now you know why I was so desperate to get in contact.
We have people taking screenshots.
Well, I'm just out now. You killed my banana god. You just ruined it for me now. You just crushed my spirits.
Oh, that was amazing. That was so amazing.
All right, who's betting what willpower?
I am on like 1, so I'm not betting anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna skip. I'm really low as well.
I guess it's my turn.
Ben's just like, all right, I'm coming in to rescue.
I'm coming in to salvage this situation.
Hey, Chris, I love how you literally just took control to kill my god. That's all you did. You just wanted to kill my god.
I love how the cultist who follows the hip thrusting neck snapper is more successful than the hip thrusting neck snapper himself. Because the hip thrusting neck snapper never snapped Charlie the Unicorn's the banana god's neck.
I feel like you're just sitting there in your head. You're like, there can only be one god.
There can only be one.
You did mention that the hip thrusting neck snapper was the only one worth worshipping.
Yeah, he did.
He can't have these bananas.
Who gets control?
Ben gets control.
Yeah. I turn to my enthralled people and go, do you have any spinach?
I love that joke that's said you just snapped the neck of a deity and it's like, yeah, what spinach?
I feel like spinach.
I feel like spinach. One of the guards perplexed as to why you would summon a god only to snap its neck. Rather confused, but also terrified of the immense power that you have, proceeds to go back into the building that the commander was in and bring forth a can of spinach for you.
Oh, this is amazing.
I love how we're taking over the camp. It's like everyone's worshipping us now.
There's no
And this
way
was how
to
the
stay
fall of
up with
Auschwitz started. This is historically correct.
There's no way history could turn out the same way it did in our time later.
It wasn't liberated. It was taken over by three people who were inside one guy's head. With the power of spinach. Unicorn.
One of which it was so yeah. This guy worshipped 2 different gods with 2 different personalities, and summoned one of the gods only to sacrifice him to the other god.
Yeah, I need to get your god in here now.
Well, that would involve time travel. So
Yeah, it would involve time travel.
Wouldn't be the first time in everyone has John that time travel was a factor.
You.
We had dinosaurs running recently.
What if the banana I found is actually an ancient relic and lets you travel back in time? At the very bottom of that chest, there's a very rare purple banana, and it's a relic.
Here's a funny thing, Shona. You wouldn't travel backwards in time to meet the hip thruster of neck snapping.
He is a god of present day.
He's just a random dude in modern day Melbourne.
Oh my
And the hip thrusting neck snapper, for context, was a John with 2 personalities, piloted by Ben, the neck snapping part, and Marshall, the hip thrusting part.
Oh my.
Yeah. My character had a penchant for ventriloquism and snapping people's necks.
He just had strength and deception.
He just went, and then used him as a ventriloquist dummy, just going, oh, yeah.
And Marshall's was like hip thrusting and what was the other one?
My goal was to start a disco, and it was like hip thrusting and like persuasion or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. So I was a very convincing hip thruster. Alright, this guard hands you the can of spinach. It's just like,
Is it open or not?
no, it is not open.
Ah. I just kind of look at it and go,
I'm pretty sure you can open a can of spinach if you just snap the neck of a god.
yeah, pretty anticlimactic. Down you go, God.
Well, the guard does have, the guard or sniper does have a knife that you can use to open the can.
Oh, that could go very wrong.
I feel like this is just going to be preemptively demonetized. Like, if
You
Marshall doesn't
are
even
also
have
holding
monetization
a
yet.
knife as well.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I take the knife and try and Jimmy open the can.
I would like you to roll to open a can.
Uh-oh. So is 6 or bust?
No,
Or is it a strength?
it'll be a strength check. I like it. It's like, oh.
Smash my hand open. I add a single willpower to my roll.
Yep.
And then... Yeah! 3!
Yeah. You successfully have opened the can of spinach in all its glory, and you find the delicate green substance within the can.
Ooh. Did I just break something?
No, you haven't broken anything. No, yes you have. You opened the can, and that is technically breaking something. Yes, you have.
Damn! So I'm just sitting there going...
Like, I break it! Oh.
You like go to eat it, and you just pass out from breaking the can. And another test for control happening.
And I love to think that there's still a dead god just lying there in front of him as he's trying to open a can of spinach.
I'm so mad you killed my god. Wait, are you and Marshall still like living together?
He's just downstairs.
Marshall, go punch him. Like right now, I can see on the screen. Go get him for killing my god.
No, I know Marshall's 2 weaknesses.
Oh, no. Ew. Ew.
Can see.
I'll probably have to hop off in the next couple of minutes because I just noticed the time. I'll never get up to
John's
watch.
gonna last that long. Alright, okay, so is it a test for control?
It is a test for control.
I may
I
as
just
well
put in my one.
bet something.
Alright.
I might pass on this one.
Alright. With a 2, you regain control, Ben.
Yeah!
You are holding
Just all over your face.
you are holding the spinach within your hand.
And I eat as much as I can.
Yep. You eat as much spinach as you can. The guards are just kind of watching you eat the spinach.
As he's chewing on the spinach, as he's chewing on the spinach, though, wouldn't he be technically breaking the leaves?
They'd
Technically.
be kind of mushy though, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they'd be kind of mushy.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. They're the can, like the mushed up madness that is. Most of the food there is canned, but surprisingly there's just a random crate of fresh bananas.
It was sent by the banana god, who's now dead.
Yeah, the commander just fiercely wanted a fruit salad. So, the guy we bashed the brains in.
Like, immediately. I was like, you're dead, man.
Hey, there's a guard! Yeah. So I've eaten the spinach.
You feel
I
some
just come
surge of
around and go,
strength.
what's happening here?
So, does this game ever end without John dying, or does he always die?
It can end without him dying.
Like,
But
does John
it's very
ever
rare.
have after?
I mean, it could just end up like I accidentally scratch my hand on the can, I get tetanus and die. Or it was a bad batch of spinach and I just go. That'd be pretty anticlimactic.
That would be pretty anticlimactic.
Died.
You feel a sudden surge of strength from the spinach.
Well, blow me down. Anyone gonna
Ben is a lot better at voices than I am.
Really? I thought that was awful.
I thought it was great.
The only thing I can do is. That's it.
I can only do like one person, like one vague, older relative voice. Like, hello. I'm sure you know someone.
All right.
Alright.
Never mind the random spasm by Marshall.
I'm like, thanks for pointing that out. I've been pretty bad lately, I don't know why. It's like, you would think that my medication would, make it a lot better. But instead it just ends up me spasming even more. Oh no, I have ruined my spider's home
What
back.
to do with my unfathomable strength?
You punch straight through a door, so
Yep.
do a few things, I think.
You can, yep.
I turn around to one of the guards, who is one of my followers, and I go to punch him in the face.
Because why not?
Why not? I'll get you to
So hard if you fail.
roll strength to punch this poor guard in the face who has been willingly following you.
I feel like his fist is going to go straight through his skull, like just leave a hole.
I rolled a 2.
Oh. So,
So you just slap him.
I was going to say, I punch him in the face and go, Shoryuken! That certainly seemed a little too confident.
well,
Shoryuken!
you punch this guy in the face, but you're not as strong as what you were, and it seems this man's face could be made out of cast iron.
It's been blessed by the hip thrust.
Been blessed by the... And you fall unconscious after punching one of your own followers. From the sheer pain. Yeah, from the sheer pain of the punch. My hand! Now test for control happens.
I'll probably have to hop off now, guys. But it was awesome joining in. This was such a laugh. I'll have to join in next time when you guys are playing. So this has been amazing.
Thank you for joining us, John.
Well, best of luck killing John. Have fun.
I feel like it's going to happen very soon.
Probably. He's just punched a
Because
guard in the
his
face.
godhood is now directly in question.
Yeah.
It's going, I kill you, God. He's going, ah.
Okay, so who takes control, Marshall?
Sorry.
Marshall, who's taking control?
Well,
Really good Ben and I now.
I think it's going to be you, Chris. I don't have any willpower left, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm going to jump off, but I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
see ya.
See ya.
Bye. All right. So, so my hand's a bit sore. But what do I see as I come to?
On the screen, it just said Susan Wallace is left, but it was shown.
Yeah, it's not her account. She's far away.
Oh, I was like, what? Who is this
I was
person?
used to.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the screenshot I took earlier. Just look as Chris gets going. It's in the conversation.
Alright.
So.
Alright, Chris,
what's
you
happening?
take control, and you now have a very angry guard staring at you, who you have punched in the face, who is wielding a knife.
Does he look like he's going to actually attack me?
He looks pretty darn mad and could potentially attack you, yes, either by punching you or stabbing you. You've got a choice there.
It's spoiled for choice.
We have felled a deity, my friends. This sacrifice to the great hip thruster of neck snapping. He shall shine upon us all in his entire grouping. For he smiles upon us. And so how are people reacting to my whole cult leading thing?
I'm gonna have to get you to roll.
Oh, cool. 3. Oh no, 5 actually.
Well done. So everyone around you is pretty enamored by this god of hip thrusting and neck snapping, and you have this guard in front of you who is just like, yes, I shall sacrifice to the god of the hip thrusting of neck snapping,
Yeah,
and
like,
puts your head
He's like-
into his hands and begins to what looks like start the process of snapping your neck.
Is he about to snap mine?
He is about
I
to.
reach out and snap his. I reach out and snap his.
All right, I would like
You dare try to sacrifice your leader. And I would like to roll for a next snap.
Yeah, you're gonna roll.
2. I am unsuccessful. But I still succeed because I have sacrificed.
You still technically succeed because you've sacrificed. You have unsuccessfully tried to reach around to somehow grab this guard's head, but his shoulders are too broad, and
his forehead too thick.
as you have found out by trying to punch it. And he subsequently snaps your neck to sacrifice you to the god of the hip thrusting and neck snapping. And everyone in this camp cheers at the faithful sacrifice that has been made. And
They're completely and utterly lost of what to do next, though.
yeah, they're completely and utterly lost as what to do next. You've got a whole bunch of Nazis who have decided to murder their own kind, who will most likely be killed for it. And now you have a whole bunch of Jews just looking at these guards like, what the hell? So, in order to further their crime and corruption, these Nazis open the gates of Auschwitz and let these poor Jewish people go, and they in turn go in hiding with these Jewish people for fear of being killed by their leader for murdering other Nazis. Many weeks later pass, and people come to Auschwitz only to discover a pile of dead bodies with no one around and no explanation as to what happened.
They see a door that's been destroyed, a dead unicorn in the middle of a pentagram. To say they're confused is an understatement.
This is one of the best ever.
And it looks like there was no visible breakage for the door for them all to come out. They have been willingly let out by the guards. However, the door to the gas chamber has been broken off. There is a pentagram made of bananas. The commander's brains are smashed all over the ground. There is a dead sniper in a tower.
And there's just a randomly discarded can of spinach.
Yeah, a randomly discarded can of spinach.
I'm pretty sure people aren't going to be paying attention to that.
No. And what they can gather is that all of the weapons that have been used have been in the own internment camp. And there you lay dead on the ground with your brethren.
They just look at the door and they just see this really small fist print.
Yeah.
And it's going, the fuck?
So what were everyone's goals and skills? I mean, Shona was summon the banana god. Ben's just break something and he had strength. What was Shona's skills anyway?
Okay, so
and Ben also had intimidation.
Yep.
Shona had her skills as climbing, so that she could get to the bananas, and stealth, so she could steal bananas. So I added stealth as a hiding mechanism. Ben's was to break something. His skills were strength and intimidation. And your goals was to sacrifice people to the great hip thruster of neck snapping. And your 3 goals were neck snapping, hip thrusting, and leading cults.
Huh. So, how many points did you get, Chris?
I'm just counting them up. I got 12.
Let's see, I got
Wait,
Commander.
Well,
no, that is.
from where I stand, both Ben and Chris, you both have 14 points each. You have tied.
Nice. I'm just trying to tally them myself. I'm like, alright, so the face of the brains or whatever of the commander.
The door, and the people behind the door. The crate.
The door, 2 people, the crate, spinach can.
The spinach can.
The neck of the unicorn.
Yeah.
My own neck.
Oh, right, yeah, because...
Chris is like, oh yeah.
Twice as many things.
I'm still like 6 short. I'm just trying to think of where they were.
So that's the second piece of media that has been forever corrupted by everyone is John. The first was the great Stan Rogers classic of the Flowers of Bermuda, and now Charlie the Unicorn has fallen to this horrible fate. Even Popeye is contaminated.
Contaminated?
What do you mean contaminated?
You free Jews from a gas chamber.
Well, it's still, he was touched by the hand of John.
Yeah, John's been many things over the years, hasn't he?
John has been many things.
I mean, he's been one thing constantly, but...
You know, I'm going to have to reference this in one of my future campaigns.
Not just a random little cult in the middle of nowhere, just blessing the cult of the hip thrusting neck slapper.
Everyone's just like, so what happened in Auschwitz? Well...
You've got your history, I've got mine.
I like how I was like, this is how I'm going to start off my career as a game master. You wake up in a line in Auschwitz.
It all started at Auschwitz. You really would start there?
Yes.
He is ascended.
He is now the banana god. The Great Wall of Broken Necks in the sky.
Yeah. We have been waiting for you, my son.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. He sits upon the throne of snapped necks.
Yeah, he sits on the throne of a shattered vertebrae.
No, a throne of bananas. For those of you who are listening in on this conversation, because it is being recorded, these are the things we are messaging within our group message chat. Who are confused as to why we're just spurting out these random things.
What a sight people would be greeted to when they just come across all this chaos. There's a random pentagram, a unicorn.
Many broken
That was
things.
amazing. Marshall.
It went a lot better than I expected.
Let me guess, you expected about 5 minutes in one of us to get shot?
Yeah, pretty much.
To get shot.
Pretty much.
I
thought
love that.
was-
I don't think I've ever role-played that hard as a personality. Or even in D&D, I've never role-played that hard.
Well,
It was
I
my
don't think
favourite
I've ever used that much willpower.
No, actually, there was one time I role-played about this hard, and that was with the great, the mighty, the one they speak the legends of. So can Harry!
So can Harry. The great hip thruster of Neck Snapper smiles upon both John and now bananas. High fives, Marshall. You were awesome. Throws bananas at Chris.
Bananas!
Bananas! Go my bananas! Now I see how that could be taken as a euphemism. Go my bananas!
Well, at first I thought it was a euphemism because how the hell are you going to find bananas in a freaking internment camp?
Yeah, I was like, how am I gonna do this? She's made it very difficult for herself.
Yeah, a banana. Let's see. Are there any banana trees here? No, it's Europe. It's not exactly the tropics.
I like how we're just having a random fight coming through the message chat of Snap's neck of
You know what
banana in midair. Shona angry face Marshall hit him for me. Yes, Chris,
You know what
you were the great first time player. Sorry, Chris.
You know what I love about this setup? Shona is actually getting angry at the fact that I disrespected her banana god.
Not the fact her banana god was Charlie. You're the banana god, Charlie.
The fact
Technically,
Johnny, you better go.
I just like to think Charlie is just like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah, just snap my own neck, will you?
Oh, God.
oh, that is amazing. Oh, can you imagine if the creator of Charlie the Unicorn saw that video? The animator's like,
They're including Charlie.
You're very
What have you done?
What have you done now? Now, Charlie, now!
brutal death of Charlie in the name of the great hip thruster of neck snaps. The Lord of Cracked Vertebrae.
Well, now I know what to have as my thumbnail for this.
There are a lot of names that you could use. Like, Two Gods and Popeye,
3 gods and 1 camp.
3 Gods, 1 Man.
Yeah, 3 gods, 1 man. I'm gonna write that down. That's all we're calling it.
You could call it the Jew, the German, and the can of spinach.
Of bananas and broken necks. Shona says, I hope so. I'll have to think up some more odd goals. XD. And I replied with, indeed.
I like XD. The name, 3 gods, 1 man. The Jew, the German, the spinach.
The Jews, the Germans, and the jiving.
I was thinking about the Jews, the Germans, and...
This is just going to get preemptively demonetized for when you get enough people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it'll probably bring people to your channel, let's face it. People got to subscribe after seeing this one.
Probably. It's just like how to make something completely controversial. Just add white supremacy and there you go. Well, I know it'd be a fit, because it's like, every time you play Everyone is John, wherever the setting may be, it gets absolutely destroyed. So I'm like, where's the worst possible setting? To just... It could either go one way or the other. You just completely destroy the camp, or you die in it.
I guess we did both.
Yep, it did both. Destroy the camp and died in it.
Yeah.
The third
but
option.
In a way that he would have actually... Because he got sacrificed to the hip thrust and neck snapper.
Yeah. To be fair, that guard was still pretty mad at you for punching him in the face. He's like, right, I'm just gonna sacrifice you to the great...
A little bit, yeah.
Like, how dare you punch me in the face, neck snap.
It sounds like an SCP Origins tale, like one of those ones, where it's like weeks later after they have left Auschwitz, there's a pile of corpses with broken necks.
I feel like that's something that sounds like it, yeah. I just like to think they just go there to see how everything's doing because they haven't heard from the guards in a while. Only to find the whole place deserted and just a bunch of dead people. A random pentagram made out of rotting bananas. Dead unicorn in the middle of it.
With a broken neck.
With the broken neck.
So John sees evidence of unicorns descending from the heavens that are very clearly deities, and what is his first reaction? I shall snap this magnificent creature's neck with my bare hands.
Yes. A sentient unicorn at that as well.
Oops.
Oops.
Oopsie. Oh, that's amazing. So Ben, just so you know, that personality was brewing within my head for weeks.
Chris has wanted to play it for so long. I've been wanting to put out my idea for a while as well. I'm just like, what's the most fucked up thing I can do?
And And then when I heard Marshall wanted to do that, I'm like, yes, do that. Sadly, we didn't have Damien. Can you imagine if Damien had been able to join us for this?
Oh gosh. Chaos 2.0.
You know what's sad though? The people here listening to this don't know who Damien is.
Yeah, true. They haven't met the one.
They will find out.
They will eventually, yes.
Sorry, what just happened?
If I knew that, I would be a very wise man.
Were
indeed.
you disconnected from Skype?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay. I saw your picture come off and then you've come back. I was like, what?
Oh.
Chris is like, so Ben. What happened?
Chris was saying, could you imagine freaking Damien going into that?
Oh god.
Like Chaos 2.0.
I
Oh.
think I actually discussed it with him, and he mentioned his goal. It was like, I think it was something like strength and deception, and to be naked. That was his goal.
I will
So
allow
it would have
this.
been a naked John snapping people's necks.
Oh, God.
I will allow. for comedy purposes. I'm like, would you like me to go into detail?
And see, I wasn't even going for the win in that game. So I don't care that I didn't actually come out actually on top. I'm nearly tied because that was amazing. Nobody ever loses. Everyone's John.
No,
Play that.
don't they?
No, nobody loses, especially when when you tie. Everyone's a winner.
I need to actually someday stat up Soup Can Harry for the game.
Do it. You've also got to do Princess Cannabis the Calmness Fairy.
Oh, Princess Cannabis the Calmness Fairy.
Yeah.
When I first mentioned those those 5 magic words to Marshall, he almost fell over laughing too hard.
Yeah. It was pretty funny.
That's all his workmates do.
Yeah, I told everyone at work, I was like, I laughed really hard. I was like, this is what Chris said. That we were talking basically about politics, and that he said that everyone who was there should get a visit from Princess Cannabis the Calmness Fairy. I just about pissed myself laughing. It's like, everyone needs to be visited by Princess Cannabis the Calmness Fairy. Everyone in the government. Go! Free them all.
I really like the idea that this will go at least a little bit viral. A man preaching to the great hip thruster neck snaps. I don't know. Probably won't, but I hope it gets some subscribers, Marshall.
I hope so. If not, hopefully a little bit of a laugh from people.
Yeah, I doubt it's going to start a cult of its own.
Yeah, I doubt. Although...
Give the internet ideas.
Yeah, there are some strange people on the internet. You never know. A cult could be started of the hip thruster of neck snapping, or for the banana gods. Charlie!
Maybe you should actually... So, everyone who's listened, which of the 2 deities did you think was better? The great hip thruster of neck snapping, or the mighty banana gods?
Or Popeye.
Charlie the unicorn, because... Yeah, technically Popeye was there.
Technically, yeah.
We cannot confirm nor deny if Popeye was there.
We cannot confirm nor deny. Merely speculate.
But the next great hip thruster of next snapping certainly was, and so without it was. I'm so glad I got control when I did, because it could have been just, oh yeah, the banana gods appear, but no, it wasn't.
The banana god appears, and I kill him.
I kill him.
This is basically what John would have been like. Friends, we have summoned the successful. I shall snap its neck.
I'm just imagining in your head as soon as that thing appeared, there was just a voice in your head going, "Do it." Do it.
Do it. The meme. It lives.
That was a great session.
As long as everyone
That
is laughing and having
was
fun.
amazing. Marshall,
Yay! I
I
did
think
good.
everyone did have fun.
Yay!
And I think this will be a very much enjoyed. So to those of you who are watching that aren't subscribed to Marshall's channel, I highly recommend you do. You might see more of this in future, whether it's Marshall or even Ben.
Yeah.
You will meet some of our friends.
Didn't record my first one. That was utter chaos.
Oh, that was
Not nearly as chaotic as this one, mind you. Chaotic
was
as
chaotic.
way.
What?
Hopefully we can have a lot of people.
Sorry.
Hopefully we can have a lot of people eventually.
Hopefully.
Ben, you remember that game where we had like 9 people? It was GM'd by Josh.
Yeah, it's getting pretty late, guys. I'm going to sign off now.
Yeah. No, that's fair
Yeah,
enough.
fair enough.
We're now at the mark of 10:50.
No, Ben.
Alright.
Great session, guys. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.
And the picture. I've just seen the screenshot. That was amazing.